Hello, hello, movie fans. Welcome back yet again to another edition of Have You Seen? I am your host, Mike Bibbins, on Twitter at Bibbs Corner. Of course, you can follow the show at Have You Seen, SCENE Pod. Joined today by frequent collaborator. Oh my God, I just said it like a 3-year-old, like frequent collaborator. Tyler Lennon, that's Tyler_Lennon. On the twits. Tyler, welcome back.
What's going on, man? We're struggling out the gate. I love it. I love it.
Oh man, it's we're here today to talk about Evil Dead Rise.
Yeah, it's a horror movie. That's why I'm here, obviously. So.
we were trying to do something a little different. We were gonna do Beau is afraid, but Bibbs is afraid of that runtime. So
y'all can blame me. Anyone that has problems with that, I text you that day, the day of, and I was like, have you seen how long this movie is? I don't know about all that.
I literally was going to text you that day and be like, are you going to have time to watch this movie?
No one has time for that. I love Ari Aster, but like, I don't know, man.
I might have to catch that on streaming. Like,
yeah, we'll do that review in about 6 months.
we'll do the review when it hits streaming. We'll make that promise. Yeah, because first of all, the runtime is crazy. It's not at my local theater. There's like 5 minutes from my house. It's at the one like across town through a bunch of traffic. And I'm gonna have to get up extra early for that, go across town and deal with that's a lot. I would have done it if you had done it, I would have said, all right, fuck it. Let's make it happen.
It was two people that very much were like, I mean, I will if you want to, but like if we don't have to, I don't know.
The passion is not there. Let's keep it moving. So we're here today to talk about Evil Dead Rise. Again, I had absolutely no plans to watch this movie. Trailer looks somewhat interesting. You know, I don't usually watch trailers, but I caught like a couple seconds and I was like, you know what? That looks a little different. I might check it out. I have absolutely no background on these movies. I'm assuming you've at least seen the original or one of the...
Yeah. So before that, I got to say, so I found her super early before she got like famous. You're on TikTok now, right?
No, not at all.
Oh,
I have a TikTok account. I am not on.
Would you catch the reference of like everyone's creative, everybody's creative?
No, not off the
No, then never mind. We'll keep it moving. But yeah, I love Evil Dead. I love the Evil Dead franchise. The remake or reboot or whatever you want to call it from 2013 is I've probably seen the movie a dozen times. It is one of, I think, the best like horror remakes or reboots, and especially when it came out, like we had just gone through a whole decade plus of like awful horror remakes, and then we get this and it was great. I've seen the original probably, I don't know, you'd have to count on two hands. Like I love Evil Dead, so I was excited for this.
Okay, so we're on opposite ends of the spectrum there. At the screening of my movie, the one I went to on Thursday, there was a couple guys. One guy was laughing like nobody else was laughing at all, but he was laughing passionately at every little thing. Like there's a scene where a fly lands on the chick's eye. I was like, yo, relax, like calm down.
Evil Dead definitely has those types of fans. We're like, I'm here to laugh my ass off.
Yeah. So again, my first experience, I wasn't sure if I was supposed to be like, am I supposed to be laughing? I did laugh a couple times. I'll say that I did laugh a couple times, but like he was belly laughing the entire movie. So, did you have any of that happening in your show?
I don't know. It was not a very packed theater at all. Okay. There were a handful of other people in there, but like I was by far talking the most of anybody, but that's always the case. I talk during movies, but I'm that guy. But my favorite thing about you with your relationship to horror is I've caught you doing this multiple times. You're like, oh, this is the 7th one of the franchise. Yeah, that's fine. I'll hop in. I haven't seen the other 6, but that sounds cool.
But usually, and that's the thing, like usually if I'm jumping into a movie that I know has like a built-in like franchise or whatever, I will typically try to go back and watch the previous movies. I did not do that because I had, like I said, like we discussed, I had no plans on watching this, like absolutely none. And
Evil Dead is kind of maybe the perfect one to do this with, and on the opposite end, it's maybe an awful one to do it with, because like if you have no idea what this franchise is, it's a lot. But at the same time, like you're fine probably not having seen them or anything,
Like I literally
there's a lot of backstory there. Like, I don't know if I can keep up.
I saw like a picture of something from one of the older movies. I think it was like a chainsaw scene in the middle of a street or something like that.
A lot of chainsaws. Yeah.
That's all I like saw before this. And so like after the movie I watched it, the guy that was laughing really loud and like another guy that was a row in front. This was surprisingly busy, actually, by the way. They were having a conversation about the 2013 movie, like after the movie, like they were having so I assume that that's the best of the bunch. It sounded like you were kind of in agreement.
I think the original is probably the best. I don't know. I mean, people love that franchise. I just love the remake myself. It's like a 65% on Rotten Tomatoes, but I love
it. Let's get into this movie then. Let's get into this movie. Hello, have you seen listeners? If you are a movie fan, which I would imagine you are if you're listening to this podcast, and your local theater is a Cinemark, let me tell you about Cinemark Rewards. Cinemark has two different levels of Cinemark Rewards. The first being the Cinemark Movie Fan, which is a free level. You sign up for Cinemark Movie Fan, you'll earn 1 point for every dollar you spend at the Cinemark theaters. You can redeem those points for tickets and other rewards. You'll receive member access to screenings and advanced tickets. You'll get an extra discount on Tuesday and other exclusive member offers. Now, if you're a bigger movie fan and you're willing to put some cash up, the Cinemark Movie Club is $9.99 per month. You'll get all of the above. Plus, you'll get one free ticket every month. Again, if you're going to the movies at least once a month, this is already paying for itself. One free ticket every month, 20% off all concessions, and if you upgrade to platinum, it'll be 25%. You get to platinum status by attending movies, by the way, but that's neither here nor there right now. You're just signing up. You won't be eligible right away, but eventually you could get up to platinum status and get 25% off. You also have online fees waived, and that doesn't just apply to tickets. You can order your concessions online as well and pick them up once you go to the theater. Any unused ticket credits roll over to the next month. That means if you don't use your one ticket that month, it rolls over to the next month, so on and so forth. So if you're worried, what if I miss a month, then it's not paying for itself, Mike? Well, if you miss a month, it rolls over. You can watch two the next month if you like. Now, you'll also get member pricing for additional tickets you buy, and that is important. For more information, you can hit the link in the show notes. That'll give you the more details, and you can sign up today. Usually I go through the cast list and I focus on the people that people will actually know, but you probably don't know any of these people. But I'm going to say some names anyway, just to give them some love. The movie stars Lily Sullivan. And actually, these people are named in the order that they appeared on screen. That's how they did their
casting. I noticed that. Yeah.
So Lily Sullivan, Noah Paul, who was in Power Rangers Dino Fury, Alyssa Sutherland from The Mist, Vikings, and The Devil Wears Prada. She's probably the most established character. She plays the older sister. Gabrielle, Echolls, Morgan Davies, Nell Fisher. Additional cast: Mirabai Pease, Richard Crouchley, and Anna Marie Thomas. Again, probably don't know any of those names.
So it's funny you say that. The Nell Fisher, I believe, is the little girl, and that threw me off so hard because when I first saw the trailer, I thought it was just seeing her. I was like, "Oh shit, it's Lil Nell from the Haunting of Hill House." I got so pumped because like she was awesome in that series, you know. And then I saw the name Nell. I was like, "It's her," and then I was like, "Oh, that's not her actual name." And then I was bummed out. But shout out to that little girl; she killed it.
Yeah, I think the little girl from Hill House is one of the sisters that we've discussed from Black Phone, and was it Megan? Yeah, I think one of those girls is one from Hill House. I can't remember. I think the younger one.
Yeah.
Movies directed and written by Lee Cronin. Lee Cronin did a movie called The Hole in the Ground, 2019. I don't know if you've seen it. I saw it. I thoroughly enjoyed that movie. It's a kid swap movie. Like you have to question whether or not the kid's been swapped.
Gotcha.
Really, really fun movie. I think it's on Amazon Prime. That's where I watch it. Can't remember, but it is on streaming for sure. The Hole in the Ground, I highly recommend it. If I had known that the Hole in the Ground guy, did this movie going in, my expectations would have been very different from what we got here. As has been discussed on this podcast before, I am not a slasher. I'm not a gore person. Like, that does not move me at all.
So that was a trip for you, I'm sure.
Yeah. So once I realized that's what this was, I was like, oh boy, this is gonna be a movie for sure. Like, I need some story. I need some interesting characters.
Yeah, this is about to be a fun pod. Then I feel like
I pride myself on being able to talk about a movie that I did not enjoy personally. I'm just gonna say it straight out the gate. I did not have fun with this movie.
Okay. Yeah, I feel bad because again, I'm like the horror movie guy, and we're only doing this because people asked us to do it. So like now, most of the time, I'm like being forced on people, or the movie we're doing is being forced on people sometimes. And now we have a movie that like everyone wants to do, and I'm the horror movie guy, and I'm like overly positive when it comes to horror movies. And now we're both on here. I'm like, yeah, I did not enjoy any of that. That was not fun. It wasn't.
I mean, I'm trying to like think like, what did I enjoy? This is I'm gonna be blunt again. This is a people making stupid decisions movie, and that is Absolutely. Like my biggest pet peeve in a horror movie is people making dumb decisions. So much standing and watching when bad stuff is happening that I wanted to punch someone. Like, I was physically upset.
A lot of that, and a lot of like, this could have all been avoided if blank, and there were like multiple of those. Yeah, this is very much, and like, I understand, again, as someone who like loves the Evil Dead, I understand kind of what this franchise is, and it is a lot of this. It's a lot of camp. It's a lot of outrageous and like fun. It's usually fun. But even like in the remake, it had a very good story. It had a lot of character development and stuff. Like, the original is pretty, and the second one especially is very campy. But like, again, it's more than just that. And I cannot figure out why it was a 90% when I saw it. I believe it's now like an 86 or 88% with an audience score just as high.
Yeah.
And I'm having a really hard time figuring out how we got there. The only thing I can think of, two things, and I don't think either are true, but like, one, if we really subscribe to this like meta idea of not everything has to be artsy or like good, and especially at a time where like a lot of the horror we get now is elevated horror, which I'm here for, but I can't understand this idea of like, not everything has to be that. Sometimes it can just be gory and fun, but like, just because it is gory doesn't mean it's also fun. And also, like, I just don't love this idea of like, I'm not articulating it very well, but not everything's good. Not everything's fun. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Like, I love horror comedies, which are going to have a ton of camp, some over the top kills, people do in stupid situations, but it feels like they know they're being stupid.
Mm-hmm.
This movie kind of didn't commit. I don't think it committed enough to leaning into the campiness. Like, I feel like it tried to be a real horror movie.
Yeah, I agree with that. And it felt like someone who I feel like Cronin probably really enjoys the Evil Dead, but like, just because you like it and you've seen it a lot doesn't mean that you're gonna be able to recreate it.
Yeah, I don't think comedy's not his thing, is what I will say after this. The comedy aspect was completely missing in my opinion. Like I said, the guy was laughing. I laughed maybe twice during this movie. I think he's a good horror director, but I think he got stuck in between his being a horror director and trying to make this camp movie, and it just didn't land for me.
Yeah, anytime that I laughed, it wasn't because they wanted me to laugh. It was not a setup laugh. It was like, that was awful, or this was bad, or what the hell is that? I do think there are going to be a lot of people who just love Evil Dead, and they've already talked themselves into loving it. And I do like the idea of going into something and be like, hey, I love this. I'm going to have so much fun, and just making yourself have fun. Like, that's dope. Shout out to y'all that like that. If you like it, I love it. And, I don't know. I didn't really enjoy anything about this movie.
And that's bad, because like, I'm the biggest, I will find something to like about a movie and say, if you're into this, then you'll like it. what I can say about this one is if you know what to expect and you're, like you said, you're a fan of the franchise, then maybe you'll like it. Clearly, a lot of people are liking it. I want to try to get a number. It just disappeared. I was trying to pull up the Rotten Tomatoes like right now. It's still, here we go. 85% fresh for critics, 83% for audience. Like you said, it was in the 90s yesterday when I checked it. It found its audience, is what I would have to say there. Like
even the people that I like rock pretty heavy with in horror Twitter and everything that have already seen it, they seem to have really enjoyed it. I feel like it sounds like we're on the wrong side of history here, and that's okay. Sometimes that's fine, you know?
I'm looking now, 750 audience reviews, and it has an 83% fresh rating. That's insane.
That's pretty damn high.
That is insane to me. That makes absolutely no sense. And then I want to see it. I don't know if it's going to give me the critic number because I'm just in the audience now. Let's go back. All right, whatever. Regardless, usually their critics are going to go out of their way to destroy the movie. Are they hiding critic reviews? Like, what is happening? So, like, I'm going to read two reviews. I'm going to read a bad one and a good one.
Okay.
This is a 0.5-star review. This film was utter shite. Only worth watching if you like mountains of gore and little else. Blaring inconsistencies all the way through it. And the initial setup of the book being read was even more contrived than expected. I was a big fan of the original film and the previous remake, but this was a pile of steaming poo. Now I'm going to read a 5-star.
Okay.
This film was so good, double exclamation points. It was such an awesome mix of tension, gore, classic Evil Dead comedy, and horror. I loved it. Title sequence was absolutely beautiful.
Was it? It's one of the first notes I have, and I don't agree, but
let's talk about it. So it does have a little cold opening. One of the things that's noted in the trivia on IMDb is that this is the first movie that was not set in a cabin. So it does give you that cabin cold opening. So let's talk about it. What were your thoughts on the cold opening?
Yeah, I felt like that was the only purpose for the cold open, was to be like, here's your bleeping cabin in the woods. You happy? Can we move on now? I feel like that was the only purpose of the cold open. And then I guess we're not in the spoiler section, but yeah, that's pretty much the only purpose of the cold open, I feel like.
Yeah, it was very forgettable. The only thing that made it significant is that after you get this cold open, it says you get the card that says, 1 day earlier or whatever. So you're knowing that something led up to this particular event. I was not familiar with the franchise, so I didn't get why this was occurring until after I came back and read that. Okay, now I see they had to give people a cabin just in case they were expecting a cabin.
Which I feel like, one, if you just don't want to do the cabin thing, if you're like, hey, we're done with it, like, okay, that's perfectly fine. Or if you can't figure out a reason to get to the cabin, in the remake, the reason why they're all at the cabin is Jane Levy's character, who, by the way, became a horror icon for a little while.
Okay.
She did that. Don't Breathe. I know there's more than that, but that's just what I got off the top of my head. But yeah, she became a horror icon for a little while. But in that one, her character had a heroin addiction, and her friends were going to help her kick it. So, hey, we're dumping the heroin out, and we're taking you to a cabin in the woods to just to isolate for a little while. And I don't know if I feel like the cold open was just here's a cabin, leave me alone. I do have two notes from the opening scene, if that's fine.
Yeah, let's talk.
Neither of them are like a spoiler, really.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you think they're a spoiler, we can jump to the spoiler section.
No. One, Shorty's just reading Wuthering Heights. Who's sitting around reading Wuthering Heights? I'm a writer, and I'm not sitting around reading Wuthering Heights. And then two, the boyfriend is like, oh, she's knocked out because she was drunk and I gave her K-Pen. Don't give drunk people K-Pens. What are y'all doing? My God. This movie just already was like, what? There's a lot going on.
So I assumed the Wuthering Heights was like a callback from maybe the original or something. I assumed, but it
might be, and I just don't remember it.
Okay, I was like, that's a really random ass book to be reading right now. But I was like, maybe there's something significant here that I'm just catching because I'm not familiar with the source material.
No, just a white woman reading Wuthering Heights is what it is. As white women do, you know.
Let's knock out these facts so we can get to these spoilers. This is already fun. Now, if you're a movie fan, you know, what do people say? A date is dinner and a movie, right? Well, restaurant.com has you covered on the dinner side. Now, right now, they're offering different levels of packages. So you can spend $10 and get a $25 gift certificate to a restaurant near you. That's right. Spend $10 and get a $25 gift certificate. I know that doesn't sound right? Well, let me break it down for you. If you go to restaurant.com, or click the link, I should say, in the show notes to go to the restaurant.com page. When you get to their page, you put in your zip code, or if you're traveling, put in the zip code of the location that you're visiting. A list of restaurants in or near that zip code will show up. You pick the restaurant you're interested in, and a list of options will come up for that restaurant. So it may not be the 10 for 25, maybe it's a 5 for 15 offer, but regardless, you're going to get money off on your meal. Most restaurants will have a minimum purchase amount for your meal to apply, but that's why I asked if you like to eat here. For example, there's a barbecue spot near me that this deal works for. I can get the $25 certificate for $10, and the total purchase at the restaurant has to be $50. All in all, I'm paying $35 for a $50 meal, and that sounds good to me. But there is more. If you're flying solo and you don't think that you can buy $50 worth of food, there are lower options. There's one that says pay $6 for $15 off, or $4 for $10 off. It all just depends on the restaurants. So again, if this sounds interesting, just hit the restaurant.com link in the show notes for more information. Again, you'll go there, put in your zip code, and check out the restaurants near you where these discounts apply. And for your boy Bib's purposes, it is important that you go to the link in the show notes or the link at bibscorner.com on the support the show tab. So this movie was initially going to go straight to HBO Max.
Should have.
And this is the second straight movie that I've had this situation with. The last one being Air, where it was supposed to go straight to streaming. They tested it with some audiences and it did very well. And they said, well, let's make some money. I'm wondering if the streaming model allows for this type of thing to occur, where the studios can test their movie. And if it does poorly, we can go ahead and throw it to streaming. And if not, let's put it in theaters, at least for a little while.
It for sure does. And I think the thought behind that is, if nothing else, one, horror is one of the few things that's always doing well in theaters, which makes me very happy. If you can go see a horror movie in theaters, please do so. And second, it's a franchise. It's one that has a huge cult following. Like, we've got to at least put this in theaters for a couple weeks and see how it does. So that was probably the thought there.
It just it makes me wonder. I expect to see a lot more of this type of stuff going forward. But I think of a movie like Prey. Did you see Prey last year?
No, but I know what you're talking about.
Yep. So Prey was a movie that's part of the Predator franchise. It's set before every Predator movie, like back in colonial times, basically, with a Native American lead. Everybody loved that movie. Ratings were through the roof. And it's like, I wonder if they should have been the pioneer, or if that movie was coming out this year, if they would have been like, hey, people love this movie, let's put it in theaters first. Because they probably missed out on some money that way. I'm wondering if good movies that are expected to go to streamers are now going to have this, like maybe even a clause in the contract of, if this tests well, we'll put it in theaters for a week, 2 weeks, a month, whatever, before it hits the streaming platform. So I'm excited about that. I'm glad, like, again, this is 2 straight movies where this has occurred. I expect to see it more going forward.
Yeah, I kind of like it's best of both worlds. I'm here for it.
Yeah, and I don't think it should be a problem for anybody. Some people want to see it in theaters, some don't. Give them that option. All right, here's another fun fact. Let's see. Every character name was pulled from an actor that previously appeared in the series. It took me a second to understand that, but it's the characters are named after the actors from previous.
Yeah. Right. So like Bruce Campbell's the main dude from a long time ago. He would like if a character were named Bruce, something like that. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Let's see. There is a pizza place where the kids go to get pizza. It was called Henrietta's Pizza, and that's a callback to a character from I think the original as well.
Okay, dope.
Let's see. The name of the building they live in is Mondi, which is an anagram of demon, of course. Let's see. The original movie was distributed by New Line Cinema. The second was not, but this one was also distributed by New Line, so they returned.
Fun fact on that real quick, if it's cool. The original Evil Dead was made on like a absolutely nothing shoestring budget, and they couldn't get a distributor for it. And they're trying, and Stephen King somehow finds it, loves it, and uses the connections and platform that he has to get New Line Cinema to pick it up and throw it in a theater. And he's kind of really heavily tied to the Evil Dead franchise. And I'm a huge Stephen King nerd. I own, at my last time I checked, like 80 Stephen King novels. Love Stephen King. And before I saw this one, he had really hyped up this one too. So I was like, all right, it's got Stephen King's approval. Let's go.
No, that's actually pretty awesome. Stephen King is a legend. I don't think that anybody's debating that. That's pretty cool. Let's see. All right. This movie was shot in chronological order. So we talked about the cold open, the cabin. So that was shot first. And so that means the girl from the cold open then has to come back at the end of the movie to shoot that last scene, which is interesting to me.
I wonder how often that happens. I would doubt very often.
I have to imagine this movie must have been shot in like a couple of days. I couldn't find that anywhere, but it had to have been a quick shoot because it's like, are you gonna make this girl film this?
Right? Scene? How long she got to sit around and wait for?
She's got to sit around and wait for weeks or whatever while you're filming the rest of this crap. That can't be what happened.
Not for this movie.
No, not that check couldn't have been that good.
All right, don't worry, it won't take long. We'll be back pretty quick.
If you just want to hang out for a while, by the crafts table. Like, she gained 20 pounds that week. All right. Last free fun fact that isn't spoilery. 6,500 liters of fake blood were used in this movie.
I don't know what the average is, but that sounds like a lot.
It's a lot of liters. I mean, we're not on the metric system over here, but 6,500 of anything is a lot.
It's too much.
And I actually had this thought. The reason I even can use this one is because the elevator scene, I was like, that is a lot of liquid. And they made sure that we saw all of it. They
did. They absolutely did.
Whatever amount of money they spent on that, they were like, we're getting the most out of this for sure.
You know what's funny about that is like, that's such obviously an iconic scene from The Shining. And I feel like even when people saw The Shining for the first time, they were probably like, see that scene that rules, but like no one's ever going to be able to do that again. It's never going to work outside of this one time ever. And for the most part, I think that hasn't. That scene was kind of dope just because like, oh, again, like Stephen King is tied to this series. Yeah. Who doesn't love The Shining? Like I did have a moment of just like being a horror nerd, being like, all right, I appreciate it, but it doesn't mean it's good.
Right. Like appreciative, but not doing anything for me as far as this movie goes. Synopsis for this movie is listed as, and I probably should have done this earlier. I don't know why I'm doing it now. A twisted tale of two estranged sisters whose reunion is cut short by the rise of flesh-possessing demons, thrusting them into a primal battle for survival as they face the most nightmarish version of family imaginable.
That is what happened. Yeah. that is the movie.
Man, look, we've already been through it on the non-spoiler side. Was not for me. If you are a fan of gore for the sake of gore, and again, this movie didn't even really lean into it that hard, really. It did try to be a horror movie. The guy, the fanboy that was to my right, said this was a really good, solid horror movie at the end of the movie. So some people were pleased. I mean, in the review, 750 reviews, 83% said 3.5 out of 5 or better. People are enjoying it.
Yeah. Yeah, we're on the wrong side of history. If we're giving this just a pass or fail, it failed. If you want me to give an actual rating, I'll do that too, but that's not for me. Yeah.
Yeah, I think my 1-star review is it was a movie.
Yes.
1 or 2. No, 1 is I don't know how this got made. 2 is it's a movie, I think. It's probably going to be a 2 or 1.5 or something like that. I got through it. I didn't want to leave at any point. So, but it just didn't, like, there's nothing that I'm going to remember about this movie in a month.
Yeah. On a scale of like 1 to 10, I always do mine on 1 to 10. A 4 is my cutoff for like, I'll probably maybe watch this again at some point. Cause I like rewatching movies.
Okay.
And, I walked away at like a 2.5 or a 3 out of 10. Like I'll never see that again.
Absolutely no reason to see it. Again, I'm not going to tell people to not watch a movie. If you want to watch it, if just know,
especially a horror movie. I mean, if you want to go see a horror movie in theaters, always support horror in theaters. It's a bummer because we get some incredible horror movies that never see the light of day, like a lot of great indie movies. But for what we do get, we do need to support it. If you're looking for a horror movie or just to get out of the house, like, yeah, go see it. I mean, but don't, yeah.
Oh, let me do this since we're talking about horror movies. If you're prioritizing, Pope's Exorcist, yes, over this.
Yeah, unfortunately, I still haven't seen that yet.
Pope's Exorcist was fire. I haven't done it. We didn't get to do a review. Nobody else saw it. Well, actually, one person did see it, but she can't do the review with me. It's fine. Pope's Exorcist was fire. I don't care. Like, do I want to? I almost gave a spoiler away for Pope's Exorcist. Damn, I don't call myself. Really good.
So I'm hoping to go see that pretty soon. So
okay. Let's move to the spoiler section.
Okay.
Finally, if you're here, you also probably like television, and you may be looking at different options for cutting the cord, and one of those options is Philo. Philo offers 70 plus top-rated television channels, including MTV, BET, AMC, A&E, Discovery, VH1, Food Network, Nickelodeon, OWN, History, TLC, Lifetime, Hallmark, Paramount, TV One, and more. All for just $25 per month. Philo also offers premium add-on channels, including MGM Plus and Stars. Philo has live TV, unlimited DVR. That's right, not all these places have it, but Philo has unlimited DVR on demand, and content from top programmers are available on your web browsers. iOS, iPad, Fire TV, Roku, and Chromecast functionality on Android mobile devices. This is excluding first-generation Chromecast devices. And Philo's on-demand library features 75,000 movies, shows, and specials. Philo offers a 7-day free trial for new users, so you can sign up today, again, at the link in the show notes or at the link on the bibscorner.com website on the Support Your Show tab. You can click the link in the show notes. There are 2, actually. The first one gets you straight to signing up if you don't have any further questions, if I've broken it down for you well enough. The second one will take you to a page that does have more details if you want to read a little bit more. All right, let's get back to the content. All right, we're in the spoiler section. Do we need to go back to the open about anything?
I don't think so. I think we get it. If we can, but
so the first moment of crap, it's gonna be one of those movies, is when the girl goes from looking like she's near death to sitting up on the bed, and then her voice starts doing shit, and her friend is just standing there like shit is normal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like, it took her way too long to be like, something's off.
Yeah, like, I'm gonna need you to have a little bit different of a reaction than Beth when your friend is going like when she sounds
right.
Like,
is this like is this something she's done before? Is she a great voice actor? Like, why are you not concerned?
Her voice is echoing through the cabin in a male tone. Like, I'm gonna need you to react a little bit more than the slow stand up and walk towards. That's
which,
not.
By the way, we do this in horror all the time, and I feel like it's very rarely effective. The like 7 different voices at one time, like it very rarely like works for me.
Yeah, they were doing a lot with audio in this movie. I appreciate the effort, but like you said, I don't know how much it did for me.
Yeah.
What else?
What part of her do you think was like, because her boyfriend, who very much is like the douchey white dude, has already told us that she was super effed up and he gave her K-pins. Do you think any part of her was like, oh shit, she's about to OD or something? Like,
probably. That's probably why she stayed there beside her, to make sure that wasn't what was happening. And maybe, like you said, maybe that mixture, she was confused by how she was acting. Then when she falls on the floor and starts convulsing and vomiting, she puts her hands on her shoulders to like keep her on her back, which is the opposite of what you should be doing.
Right.
So if she really was vomiting from this mixture of whatever, you're gonna kill her now. Like, you're holding her, you're keeping her from clearing her airway.
Also, her falling off the bed was my first laugh, because that in no way, shape, or form looked like I know it's supernatural or whatever. Maybe it's not supposed to look natural, but it was just the goofiest falling off of a bed I've ever seen in my life. So
I did laugh there, and then when she popped up and ripped the scalp off, I got a chuckle.
I'm sorry about that. I've been muting myself and I'm not talking because my dog was in the room, and I didn't. The one time I don't do it, he actually starts barking. I apologize for that.
That's fine. The dog should bark about the scalp ripping off. So.
So I actually didn't see that. My buddy starts like, ugh. I'm like, wait, what? And then I finally, when she drops it, I was like, oh, that's what I missed. So I just I was taking notes the whole time. And I think I was maybe taking a note. I wrote down bring back Jane Levy, and I guess that's when I missed it. I don't know.
So yeah, she rips the scalp. They go out to the dude. He's peeing in the lake or whatever. They somehow sneak up on him. Chick with the scalp, she was fine at this point. Like, she wasn't dead.
Yeah, how is she operating? As she was like functioning pretty well, and I was like, I don't know if that's how that works.
Yeah, I don't want to think about it too much. He has the drone. She hits herself in the head with it. So is that like an Evil Dead thing where they injure themselves?
Yes, that very much is.
Okay.
Yeah. All
right. So she hits herself in the head with the drone, goes underwater, explodes him somehow.
Yeah, I don't understand.
I don't know what was supposed to have happened. I do not know what was supposed to have happened. Again, I was like, maybe this is an Evil Dead thing, but it doesn't sound like it is.
Then we do get our title card that people seem to love, and I thought it was like lazy, or it's Evil Dead Rise, and it flashes up on the screen as she's like levitating over the water. So I don't know, dude. It felt real. And again, if this was like campy, if we're like really leaning into it, but it didn't feel like that. It felt like you can either lean into this campiness or you can try to be a horror movie. And it was like, how about I do neither and both? It's like, okay.
Yeah. And that's pretty much what this experience was. Like, I wanted to either be terrified or laugh, and I ended up stuck between knowing which one I was supposed to be doing. Like,
this could have so easily. Sorry, I'm interrupted. This could have so easily went like a Tucker and Dale versus Evil type movie, and like that'd have been dope. I love that movie.
Right. You have to know how to finish those funny moments, and like it was like it started into a funny moment, and then it became a horror moment, and again, your emotions don't know what to do. So I was just kind of watching it. I wasn't immersed in it at all at any point. Characters. Let's talk about these characters. So we get the opening scenes out of the way, and then we get introduced to the chick. She's peeing on a stick at a concert, I guess. She was a roadie.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. And her sister makes sure everyone and their dog know that she is a roadie. She's not a guitar technician or whatever. She's a roadie.
Oh, you're the groupie chick. I was like, yeah.
Yes, every person that meets her, they're like, oh, you're the groupie?
Which sucks, because it sounds like she really thought she had a career out of this, and her sister's like,
it sounded like she was taking it very seriously.
You're not serious at all. You're not a serious person. Like, she was in Asia. What are you talking about? Like, it
sounded serious to me, but
anyway, she's pregnant. We establish that she's pregnant in the beginning of the movie. Feels like it should be significant. Doesn't really land. I mean, it's used again later, but not as well as I would. Did she even? She didn't even tell her sister, did she? Before her sister gets turned, I don't think she got to tell her sister.
No, because I don't think she did either. We know the little girl finds out later, but only because all it did was set up the cheesiest line of dialogue ever later in the movie. That's all it did. That was all it was there for. And I guess we also see her kind of take the role as a mother figure later in the movie, but I don't know.
Yeah, so that we do get the mother figure part. That's fine. What else we got? So she gets back to New York, I guess, to see her sister. Her sister's got 3 kids. Sister's man has left her and the kids. Apparently is paying child support. So not completely abandoned. She's not impoverished here, but she's living in a dilapidated building, and they have to move out within a month. We've established that the building is being destroyed.
Yeah.
We also find out that the building is built over top of an old haunted bank, if you will. This establishes the fact that there will be a vault below the building. We get a random 5.5 magnitude earthquake that cracks open. Do we care about getting into the details about the kids?
No, other than I wrote down Gen Z Devin Siwa for one of them. That kid looks like a Gen Z Devin Siwa to me, who was kind of a horror icon in his own right. So I guess.
Okay. I'll allow it. So the boy is into DJing, I guess.
Yeah.
Mixing. He's got the turntables going. And the sister is activist, the middle sister or the older sister. And then you got the baby girl. Of course, it's being a baby girl.
Yeah, she's just chilling.
A little bit of a weird baby girl. She ripped the head off the baby. Is the first thing we see. Or
she's weird for sure.
We knew when she broke the stick, we knew that was coming back.
Yeah. We do find out there's reason that she's cutting the heads off these dolls, though.
I don't remember.
There was this theory or like folklore or whatever. What's the word? I don't know. The word I'm looking for, I can't think of it. But if apparently because this bank, it was built on an old bank that's haunted, and like an old bank teller or guard or someone walks around, and if you have change in your pocket, he'll come and try to haunt you and take your money. So she keeps something scary to scare it.
Yes. Okay.
Which is kind of cute. Like, okay, that's okay.
I was messing with it a little bit.
It was a lot better than knowing she was doing it for fun.
Yeah. So again, we get the earthquake. The kids have went to get pizza. Did that kid look like he was old enough to go drive and get some pizza?
I didn't think so, but
I was very confused by this.
Yeah, especially like in LA. Like I'm out from the middle of nowhere. Like, yeah, we probably drove before we were old enough to drive, but like we've been told they're in LA. She's like, just got here from LAX.
You're right. You're in LA.
Yeah, because at first I was like, where the hell are we? Why are we getting earthquakes? And I was like, oh, she said she just got in from LAX.
Okay, let me see. I'm gonna check. I'm gonna see if I can figure out how old this kid is. 5, 4. Is this him? You know what? These people do not have any information online. I'm just gonna keep it.
And we don't. Yeah, I don't feel like it matters.
He looks older on his regular picture, but whatever. First of all, I was very upset about the food all being wasted.
One, she opens the pizza box and like 2 pieces happen to be on the lid, but the rest of it, like that pizza, I even wrote it in my notes. The pizza was perfectly fine. They could have so eaten that pizza.
That was bougie activities, acting like the pizza was destroyed.
Not to be that person, but like, I don't know if we got throw pizza out the window money. Like maybe we should eat this pizza.
I'm eating the pizza's still in the box. I'm eating the pizza.
Yes, I'm eating that pizza for sure.
If the pizza falls out of the box and lands on its bottom, I still might eat the pizza.
I might still would too, but
5-second rule, we might can make this work.
But that's not even what happened. Like they were unfazed, except for like it was kind of mixed up in the box a little.
Like this doesn't look like a circle anymore. I can't eat it. Like fuck y'all. Piss me off.
No, for real. Just eat your pizza.
Weird, but it pissed me off. Like I was expecting some pizza consumption.
It was dumb enough that I wrote it down, so I'm there with you.
All right, just making sure I wasn't tripping. Now all of a sudden this kid gets adventurous, and this is where I began to be lost. You just had an earthquake, and you decided to climb into a hole.
Yeah, and his sister warns him like aftershock, which I don't know shit about earthquakes, so I wouldn't have thought of that, but I also wouldn't have thought to look in the hole.
Sadly, I live in South Carolina, and I learned a lot about earthquakes over the past year and a half because we've had like 50 of them.
Have y'all really? I did not know nowhere.
That. Yeah, it's normal. Like we usually have had earthquakes, but they're like so small you don't feel them. I felt 50 earthquakes over the past like year and a half. I don't like it at all.
You ever go look in the holes in the ground afterwards? Or?
I have not been tempted to look for or enter any holes in the earth. It's never something. I ain't going into no cave, nothing.
No. I did have two thoughts about this scene, though. The first one is it would have never occurred to me to look in the hole. But once I found out there was a bank vault down there, I'd have went. I would have done it. One, we already know. One, we know we don't have a lot of money right now. Two, I know that we have like 3 weeks to find a new place to live, and we haven't found a new place to live. Three, I'm not big on stealing, but like, however long, if there's money down there, it's been there forever. This is unaccounted for money. I can take enough. I can go get this. We've got at least first month's rent, and I can go turn this into, maybe I get something fronted to me. Maybe I have steady income now. Like I would have went into the bank vault to look for the money. I just wouldn't have thought to look in the hole. That was very white people shit. But the taking of the money or looking for the money, I don't blame them for that one.
Yeah, I can't be mad. Once you see there's interesting things there, I can understand the curiosity.
Yeah.
But yeah, climbed in the hole, weird stuff. You know, you got to have the creepy jump scares. But then you start digging around and you get this weird looking book. I wouldn't have touched the book first.
I would also not have touched the book. The note that I wrote in my phone is, this kid's probably never read a book before, but he just has to read this one. No,
I'm not touching that book. I would have made note that it existed. I would have saw it and been like, oh, that looks creepy. How about I let somebody else know about this shit so they can check it out? I'm not.
I thought would have been, at least we're getting out of here in the next couple weeks. I don't have to live in the same place as that book for very long.
That book was special.
I would play with a Ouija board before I read that book. If my options are open that book or play with a Ouija board, I'm taking the Ouija board.
I might dance with an actual ghost before I'm touching that book.
I'm saying,
like, if a ghost said dance with me, I'm doing it versus.
I'm not touching that book
versus touching that made out of human. I mean, obviously he doesn't know it's human flesh, but it looks fleshy and it has
nothing else. There's teeth on it.
There's teeth on it and it looks fleshy. I'm good, brother. Like,
and then it opened by itself. Don't read it.
The teeth cut me. Like, I'm paranoid that I'm infected. Like, I'm gonna die. I need a tetanus shot.
I need a tetanus shot after this for sure.
Fucking with this book no more. Like,
enough of this book.
So he opens the creepy book. He opened the records. At least getting the records made sense since we know he's into the turntables and stuff.
Yeah, what's funny is when he was playing the record, I'm like, one, you're acting like this is off the wall. This is not some amazing album. You don't need to be listening to this. And two, are you trying to scratch? What are you doing? Why are you playing it that way?
As soon as you hear the creepy pastor, I'm good. Like,
I'm out. I'm good.
I'm not doing this.
I don't want to listen to a normal pastor. I'm not listening to this guy.
Earthquake, darkness. I'm good, man. I don't want any parts of this creepy pastor flesh book with teeth situation. Like, I'm giving this to some professionals that can handle this. I am a child.
I'm at least okay. So I want to really put into perspective. Y'all wouldn't have eaten that pizza, but you'll do all of this. Now it makes even less sense. I just thought about it. The pizza thing makes even less sense now. You won't eat the pizza, but we will go do all of this.
My pizza's not cute anymore. I can't eat it, but I can carry this flesh book
that's already
to my room. Let the tooth enter my hand and still act like this is normal, but no, like get the fuck out of here. No. So he plays this stuff. Some more weird stuff happens. The mom got. So now Mommy Dearest is coming in and she's ready to fuck shit up.
Yeah. This all moved pretty quickly, I will say, though.
Yeah.
It's only an hour 37 runtime. But I wouldn't even say it had great pacing because, like, we got here pretty damn quick.
Yeah.
And then like I've got an hour of watching her in this room. Y'all are in one place. Like we're doing this for an hour. It's a long time.
Do you have a favorite mommy moment? Because I do.
Not off the top of my head. No. Let's hear yours.
So I always ask if there's one scene that stuck with you. This is the scene that stuck with me. When they finally get the mom out of the apartment, she's in the hall, and we know there's other people out there. When she has the killing spree in the hallway, that was low key kind of fire.
That's fair.
When you see the little kid fly and like hit the wall dead, we see her. I mean, we were in the hall when she bites the guy's eye off.
Yeah,
and spits it into the other dude's mouth, which
that was a lot.
Buddy choked on that one, like laughing.
That was a lot.
Then like they're looking through the peephole and we see the shotgun blast, and we're like, oh, maybe that did something. And then she comes back, she kills Buddy. That was kind of like
that wasn't bad. Yeah,
I appreciated the film through the peephole. I appreciated the through the peephole moments.
That wasn't bad. I did have two thoughts before we got to that point. One, the moment where she falls in her own throw up was just gross for being gross.
Disgusting.
Second, it did make me think. I could almost, so I said there's two ways I could see how this is like a 90%, and I didn't think it was either. I talked about the first one. The second one I could almost see, and like that's not to my knowledge what The Evil Dead is about. Granted that the remake that was the setup for it, but I did start thinking to myself, what if this is a metaphor for drug or substance abuse or even like mental health issues, and like how it can not only consume you but the people around you, and like that's not what it is though. If that's what it were, maybe, but nah, that's not what it is.
Yeah, because then what would the reason for consuming the daughter be the way they did? Like,
yeah, no, I don't have a good reason for it. It just was a thought I had for a second, just how it could destroy like yourself and people around you. But no, that's not even what it is.
You tried to give it some depth.
I tried.
Nothing there, I promise.
Oh, I also wrote down, not a single one of y'all got shoes on. Put some shoes on. ... White people. For anyone that doesn't know, I am white. That's Bibbs did point out to me one time. Maybe I need to stop.
Not even gonna lie. I made a note. Said white people making bad decisions.
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna say it, but I'm gonna go ahead and say it. This is one of those movies because it feels like, and these are the type of horror movies I just can't get into. It's like, stop being stupid.
We've gotten to a place where like so many horror movies have these great like, oh shit, this is an unavoidable situation, but like we're still at a point, and I guess again, if you're paying homage to like these like kind of campy, but yeah, it's just a lot of white people making white people choices.
Yeah,
is what it was.
Yeah, because
my favorite scene of the whole movie though, I forgot about it. So during the earthquake, the mom's trying to find the kids, and she knocks on her next door neighbor, who it felt very much like the Sam Carpenter from Scream moment where she's like looking across the hall and we're like, ew, that's creepy. And then we find out they're kind of dating. I kind of got vibes there, but he's like, okay. She's like, if you'll give me your car, I'll go look for him. He's like, why don't I just give you a ride? I'm gonna go get my keys. And it was a very serious moment. He comes back out and in the douchiest way possible goes, let's roll. And I just thought it was so funny. He's like being real sweet. He's like, oh, I'll help you go find your children. Let's get the fuck out of here. Let's bounce. Let's go now.
I actually like that dude. I hated how he had to go out like that. That was kind of disappointing. I thought he was going to be a hero.
Yeah, for someone with 3 lines of dialogue, I was rocking with him.
He went out very sadly. Damn, that was rough. Dang, I'm trying to think. So the little girl, when the daughter gets killed, she's eating the glass. This is another one of those scenes where it's like, how long do you need to see that stuff is not normal before you start moving
right
away from the situation?
Also, you won't even be allowed to live here in like 3 weeks. Just get out. Go. Get on out of here.
Leave.
Nothing, like you're not tied. Like if y'all just bought this house and like sank a ton of, like, okay, you got to figure this out. We're not going anywhere, but like you're going to be you're going to be forced to leave pretty quick anyway. Like just get out, go.
All right. I'm ready to jump to the end, to be honest.
Yeah, let's do it.
I do have 2 more fun facts I guess I could throw out.
Okay.
On the record, so I mentioned the record with the creepy pastor and all that. You can hear someone say it's called the Book of the Dead for a reason. Destroy it. That was Bruce Campbell's voice.
Oh, nice. That's groovy.
I kind of recognized it, but I didn't think about it at the time. And like I said, I haven't watched the movie, so Bruce Campbell wasn't on my mind. But I know he's tied to these movies. There's, of course, when they're trying to escape, it's now just the aunt and the little girl. The brother went out like a hero. Shout out to him.
And I wrote down not Gen Z Devin Siwa.
Awesome. I love it. The people in the hall start yelling "Dead by Dawn," which
I also wrote that down in all caps, "Dead by Dawn." That felt real cheesy, didn't it?
It was very much, from what I'm not familiar, but it was on the nose apparently for.
Yeah, it was. But again, like, it felt like a really good moment to like just really lean into the campiness of it. And they didn't.
It was as close as it maybe got to kind of being funny. To me anyway. But it was still scary. Like, it was supposed to be scary, but it was funny. It was like, you got to pick one. You can't, they was towing the line too much.
Agreed. Then they run into the elevator.
The elevator. There was a moment here where I was like, this little girl is the smartest person in this movie.
Yep, I had the same thought. At first, I thought she was going to get her hand crushed in the elevator. I was like, don't do that. But she timed it to where it's like, now I can go, and she got the keys.
Yeah, they can't do that to the baby girl.
Well, we've killed the other kids.
So, first of all, her doll ends up stopping the sister for a little while. That's again her being proactive and active. She has the moment where she does unlock the door for her mom. She had a weak moment, but it took her a second to decide to do it. I can respect that for a child. And she learned from her lesson later. She's like, "You're not my mom anymore." Yeah,
she's only like 6 or 7, I think.
Yeah.
She's young.
She had to be 5 or 6. Yeah. 7 at best. Yeah. So I can respect her. And again, she wasn't like, "Yay, mommy." Like she was like.
Also, what does it say about this movie that like the 7-year-old's the smartest person in this movie?
Exactly. But the entire time that the mom has been upstairs, this elevator the doors have just been slamming. Like, I thought it was some demon shit. Apparently, it was just the keys being in the way from keeping this elevator from being used. Little girl figures this out, and I was like, "Oh my! I can't believe how simple that was."
Yeah, because the only adult left was not something in her brain. Like, she would have never. They'd have just sat. They'd still be sitting on that elevator.
She was highly perplexed about her situation, pushing buttons.
Like, I guess this is just a situation.
Little girl gets the elevator operational, if you will. Bad things occur. Elevator slams. We've already talked about the blood.
I will say, I kind of did like the scene where she's pressing buttons, and then for each floor, like the blood is filling up on the like knob or whatever. Like, that was kind of cool.
Yeah, definitely a good effect. Thought that the creature was going to get in before whatever happened, but they didn't. I guess it was not a coordinated attack with the blood and the whatever climbing in.
Which, like, you're controlling all of it. How is this not coordinated? But I actually thought, I was like, all right, this is it. This is our unescapable. This is it. This is how we go.
I for sure thought that was wraps. They get down to the bottom floor. They're covered in Kool-Aid. Little girl looked dead. Not gonna lie.
She did. I did want to say, there was a moment where I made the comment, again, this girl's like 7. The other one's a full-grown adult.
Yeah.
But for some reason, as the blood's filling up in the elevator, it got shoulder length on both of them at the same time. What was that about?
Blood is thicker than water. That's all I got.
But then we do get the shining scene where it does open, and like for a split second, I was like, kind of cool, and then I was like, I don't know.
Yeah, they used a lot of fake blood. They made sure we saw every ounce of it.
That was like 70% of the budget.
The little girl's chubby cheeks covered in blood was adorable somehow.
I said the same thing, and I did think the older, it was kind of a cool look when she's just covered in blood, and I think there's a moment where she's like sitting up on the ground. It's like all on. Like, I thought, I was like, that kind of looks cool. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. They definitely got the most out of this fake blood situation. How'd you feel about the parking garage?
I had two thoughts about the parking garage. Overall, one, they did set up earlier in the movie the button to get the door to go up sucks. It takes a lot of effort. So they did that was earned, I guess. Second, there were more dumb decisions. There were multiple times where I thought, the door is still open. Right. It's not going to be open much longer though.
Yeah.
Just run. You can outrun this thing. Go. And we never did. And then we're like playing peekaboo with it around the car. That felt real dumb.
And it wasn't smart. Like, yeah, it was like, is it not supposed to know you're there? Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, that all felt very dumb. I thought, generally speaking, I like the idea of it. I just don't love that could have been real cool. We're trapped in this parking garage. We have nothing. Like, what are we going to do? But no. And it felt like that scene lasted forever.
You have a chainsaw and a wood chipper in a parking garage in LA.
I don't know. I don't. Oh, that the other note I did. So the adult, I can't think of her name. Who cares what her name is? She finally gets out, but realizes the little girl is stuck behind. And one, you are now a mother to be, and you've pretty much decided you are going to be a mother now. So like, you're not only protecting your own life, but your future babies. You've seen that girl like twice in your life. Like, it is your niece, but like, you barely know her name. Why go back in? And she goes back in. I wrote down, I don't know what we're allowed to say or not, but the Michael Jordan quote. Fuck them kids. Yeah, fuck them kids. Yeah.
I don't know, man. I hated that she had to go back. The little girl should have been in front of her. That's how that should have gone. That would have been a motherly instinct decision. But she decided to let the little girl fend for herself until she realized she couldn't, and then she had to go back in.
Yeah.
Wood chipper moment. Whatever. More gore, more blood. We've been told previously that as long as there's a little piece, like on the audio thing, as long as there's a piece of it living, it'll always keep coming. So we know, even though it's been liquefied or pureed, however you want to think about it, if there's a little piece of flesh out there, it's going to find a way.
Which we knew a chainsaw was coming. We're not getting through an Evil Dead movie without a chainsaw, but we knew a chainsaw was coming.
So were you pleased with the chainsaw?
No, I wrote down that's a very weird way to chainsaw someone. So what happens is, like you said, we've gotten the thing. Oh, also, I don't know if this is cool or not, but so in the very beginning, when the book, it decides to turn to this page and it's like the woman, we know that's what it is. And then later it flips its own pages to like a monster demon thing of like 3 people. And that's what it ends up being. So we've gotten the first 2 dead. It's just like the mom's head. And Shorty decides to take the chainsaw, instead of like sticking it in her, I don't know what you should do here, but she like stabs it on the top of her head, like not her forehead, on top of her head. It's a very weird way to chainsaw someone.
I agree. That definitely stuck out for me as well. And then the way the body got ripped apart looked very weird to me. Also, again, wasn't familiar with the movie, so I just accepted that this was for the people that are, and it looks like these 2 have survived.
All I know is, and I think about this a lot, especially here lately, I've been thinking about it a lot. Sometimes in horror movies, making it out's not necessarily the best thing to like, because like it's gonna be really hard to explain. Okay. I don't know how y'all explain this one, if we're being honest.
How they explain what happened?
Yeah. Some woman comes in. She's kind of related to these people, but doesn't even really know them. Murks that whole floor and then takes the daughter.
True.
That's hard. I don't even remember. How did it? They just leave? Do they just leave the parking garage?
Did we even see them leave? We just know they left.
Don't remember.
I don't think they left. I think she just goes over to the little girl who's like crying or something, consoles her, and then it
switches to the
next day.
Yeah. I did have a note for the final little cold closing or whatever you'd want to call it.
Well, I called it the full circle moment.
Yeah. Which again, I still don't know why we set it up. Again, if you wanted to have the cold open just to get to a cabin in the woods, that's fine. But again, do I need the?
Yeah, because we already like if you were setting up a sequel, let's say, like we're gonna do this now, we're gonna take it to the cabin. This is how we get to the cabin. You already killed these people, so we didn't do that.
So the girl's walking around through the one. I have a hard time believing this woman even lives at this place. She's got all this money and all this stuff. Why are you living here? I don't believe that. Second, I wrote have you watched Schitt's Creek?
Yes.
I wrote, the director said, give them Alexis from Schitt's Creek, and the studio said, we have Alexis from Schitt's Creek at home. She gave off those vibes and almost kind of looked like her, but no. Yeah. It's like we've got that at home. Don't worry.
She was oblivious to everything that was happening.
Yes, this whole parking garage is nothing but like blood and all the stuff that's just been ruined, and you haven't noticed any of it. You are on FaceTime, but you haven't noticed any of this?
She didn't notice it till she got in the car.
Situational awareness, man. You're a white woman living by yourself in LA. You're walking through this sketchy parking garage and you haven't thought to check your surroundings in the slightest?
There's blood everywhere. All right, so this was our last moment of white curiosity. That's what we'll call it. And I told you, I don't know if I told you this, but like there's a movie that I'm writing. I literally have a scene, like a cold open. How much do I want to? I don't care. Fuck it. If you're listening to this pod, I assume you won't steal my shit. Basically, it's going to be like a guy who's like sending invites to all the people he knew in high school to come out to a cabin in the woods type situation.
Love it.
Full, like he's covering all expenses, basically. He works for like some type of website, and they want people to experience these cabins, and he's going to like blog about it or something. And he chose it. It's like close to his high school reunion, so he's bringing all these people back. He was the kid that was picked on in high school, so most of the people that he's inviting were his bullies, and they're questioning whether or not they should be there anyway. First guy that pulls up is a black guy, his family, like his wife and like some kids. They pull up to the cabin. They look at the cabin, peep the scene, and then they say, and this was before Jordan Peele's recent movie came out. He just looks at it and is like, nope. And they get back in the car and leave. Like that's just how the movie starts. Like, I'm good.
That's awesome.
I don't need to see this through it all, brother.
I'm good. I'm good on this.
Then we move to the other characters. Like that's literally how I start the movie, because it's like at a certain point in time, I've seen enough. I'm not curious anymore. I'm out of here. Like I want no parts of this situation. But she sees blood everywhere, and what's going on? It's like, oh god damn it. I will say I have to give her credit. Quality scream to close the movie.
Yeah, that's fair.
Quality scream. When she's attacked by whatever. I don't know if a finger came at her or what.
Yeah, I don't remember what it was even, but
they didn't really show us.
I have a confession to make.
Okay.
This has never happened on anything we've ever reviewed. I can't remember the last time it's ever happened ever, but it didn't last long, maybe like 10, 15 minutes. I don't know. But I accidentally kind of fell asleep for a second during the movie. And my buddy next to me, we're not going to see that. I was going to have to see this by myself. We were going to see Air, but something happened where even though the online told us what time it was going to air, we got there to click the buttons. We always buy our tickets online, but we didn't because we're like, man, movie's been out for weeks. Like, who cares?
Gotcha.
We get there and it's just like not on the marquee. So I was like, you got to watch Evil Dead with me. He did not want to see this. And there was a couple of times where he like looks at me to say something. And my response was like, yeah, wow, crazy. Like, just whatever. And then finally I'm like, hey, what did I miss? And he's like, you haven't been to the bath? Where are you talking? I was like, I've been asleep for the last few minutes. He's like, I hate you so much. But yeah, I think I missed the sister die is what I missed.
The original, the mom?
I saw the second
girl?
sister. Yeah, not the little girl, but
which
like
the on fire.
Yeah, the girl. I missed that.
So you did not see her get set on fire?
No. I didn't know that happened. No.
Hold on. How did she get infected? Oh, she got infected when the mom like stabs the tattoo thing in her cheek. You didn't see that?
I did see that. Yeah, I saw that.
All right. So she got infected there, and she's like trying to fix it.
That was kind of gnarly.
Yeah, she has like the first aid thing. She's trying to fix it, but then she starts like ink starts like coming out of her mouth and stuff like that. And
maybe I did see that. I don't know.
Starts coming out of her ears. but they don't really show us what happened. We just see her like trying to like drink water and get rid of this ink, mud or whatever that's pooling out of her orifices. And then the next time we see her, she's up on the counter eating the glass.
I just think it says a lot that this was the loudest. I don't know if your theater was. This was the loudest movie I've ever been to in my life. It was super loud. And this movie specifically, and me specifically, like the fact I fell asleep during that for even a second is a lot.
I was gonna say, like, I'm surprised, especially with it not being Beau's Afraid. Like, it's half of Beau's Afraid.
Literally only an hour and a half, and I wasn't even like tired. It's bored.
Yeah, that's actually very interesting to me.
Yeah, it was rough.
Like I said, they did a lot with the audio in this movie. Like, there was a lot of audio stuff going on. So I don't know if it was necessarily loud in my theater, but they were definitely doing stuff with the audio. Like, there were isolation moments where it was like just coming out of the top right corner. Or just on the right side, just on the left side, like surround sound echoing type stuff. There was a lot of that happening. Anything else we need to mention in this movie?
I think we're good. I can't think of anything else.
Long story short, I think we did hit an hour.
Nice.
Just over an hour. Long story short, I didn't enjoy it. You didn't enjoy it.
No.
A lot of people seem to enjoy it.
Yeah, I feel back. I'm sure. I mean, it seems like everyone loves it. So people that listen to this are probably also going to love it.
We'll see. I might put a poll. So Spotify allows you to do polls. So I might do a poll. Like, did you watch it? What'd you think? I'm curious. I'm curious what the audience is going to say about this one.
Yeah, I'm also curious.
I also, to start the year, said that I was going. What happens is I usually avoid. Well, I guess this wouldn't have been one I avoided because I usually avoid bad movies. Like if I hear people saying bad things about movies, I avoid them. This one has great ratings, so I probably would have still. I wasn't going to see it to begin with, but I'm glad I have at least one movie that I'm going to say I didn't enjoy on this podcast.
I wish I wouldn't have seen a trailer, and I also wish I wouldn't have seen the reviews because I think if I wouldn't have seen any of that, I maybe do walk away with this with like a half point higher or something like that. But the idea that I'd seen the trailer and I even thought, this might be all right. And then I see 90% for an Evil Dead movie. Like, I think I just built up this really high expectation in my head. And again, like, I think even just another director, like, I think was Fede Alvarez who made the remake. And like, he's kind of become a horror icon in his own right. And like, yeah, he killed the remake. I don't know. I just feel like it's not even the material necessarily. It's just how we're going about it.
Yeah. And I think for me, there was no way that this was going to be a movie I enjoyed. I don't think.
No, and there's no.
And knowing that going in, I don't feel as bad about saying I didn't enjoy it because it's well established. This is not my type of movie.
It just bums me out again. Like, well, there's so many, especially if you look at just like the last 5-ish years. Like if you're doing a top 10 of horror for every single year, maybe only like 3 of them are going to be like big theatrical releases. Yet we get so many just awful theatrical horror releases. And of course, I'm going to see all of them because go support horror in the theater. But I don't know. It's like for every one of those, there's 3 or 4 like amazing indie movies that so many people are never going to see unless you're really going out your way or you're really plugged in. And I don't know.
Yeah, no, definitely. And it's funny. For some reason, a bunch of people went and read my Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark review recently.
Oh, nice.
Which I was like, that's really random.
I wish I could have done that one with you. I don't know.
I didn't do audio. I wrote that was written.
Like, gotcha.
Before I was doing podcasts, so
gotcha.
I think I called it a horror Final Destination. Like that's how it played out for me.
That's fair.
I think we said what we had to say. I'm gonna let you enjoy the rest of your Friday. Tyler, thanks for joining me. We're probably gonna be back here in a week or 2.
Dope. Yeah, thanks for having me, man. Hopefully we'll enjoy the next one more than this.
Yeah, maybe less, depending on how things go. If you're still here, I had an interview with actress Tatum Matthews earlier this week. Definitely check that out. She's got a movie coming out at the end of the month called The Artifice Girl, where she plays an artificial intelligence program that is being used to catch online predators. Has a 95% on Rotten Tomatoes right now. At last check, 14-year-old. I think she's going places. Check that out. It's a very short. It's like 15 minutes. Take you 15 minutes to listen to that. Check that out. The Air review is up. Y'all said y'all wanted this Evil Dead review. I better see the numbers. being ran up. Tell a friend to tell a friend. I don't know what the next movie I'm going to be reviewing on here is, but we'll see. Till next time, peace.